Now once we joined the BBG, that was in 87, it was in Sairam Shed. There was no Sairamish hall then. So those were the days when there were no mics. So we have to shout at the top of our voice, and that was not individual singing, it was group singing. So we were used to practice, and then we were singing like that. And then one day there was this, see what happens during the Dasara, all this lady, especially Prabha Sridhan and their team, they used to go to Parthi or Parthi during Dasara time and offer something. They have some system of offering some dry fruits and all that. Swami will bless them. That is their custom. So one of Dasara, during Dasara, Swami was here in Vrindavan. So she wanted to do that same thing here itself. So she was waiting for Swami. When Swami came for darshan, she said, Swami, we want to give this. Wait, he said. And then he went inside inside. Then he did not come outside. It was already 8:30, the bhajan started. It was 9:30, 10:30, 11 o'clock. That was a working day. She has asked even the gents to wait for some time. And gents are all at offices. We had to go to office. But because he said it was a chance with Bhagavan, we just called our bosses and we'll come late and all that. We were also staying, and it was during summer, it was very hot. She was staying till 11 o'clock. Swami came suddenly. And then, what happened? As if he didn't know. Swami, you have to bless us. Antastanto, he said. All this is not devotion. Antastanto. Antastanto means everything is stunt. Then Swami blessed everything. Swami, gents also have come. Said he gave us chocolates. So he gave us chocolates, and then so that was the first time we had Swami had given us a kind of prasadam. We took Pada Namaskar, and then he said, Swami, avalum padra. So she used to talk in Tamil only. Gents, whenever gents sing, I have to keep the cotton in my ear. When you flight, you keep cotton, is it not? Because, so that was an indication that we were just shouting at the top of our voice. It was not, there was not much of devotion. So we took a lesson from that. Then what happened, we were only 4 of us. It was not enough for 4 first. They already by that time, because we had come, the elders who were above 60, slowly they started leaving the bhajan group because they were not getting proper chances also. And so it was for us to take the initiative and lead the gents bhajan group. But 4 of us were not enough. So we told Prabha Sridharan, she added some more little during 88, 89, when some of our brothers who were also Sevadal joined. But whether you are singing when you are singing in Vrindavan, you have to wear the scarf. You are officially a Sevadal, doing the duty of also singing. That was the thing. So what happened, we were very happy to get the chance and all that. Then what happened, we were growing as a group now. It became 10, it became 15, it became 20. Now we want to ask Swami, one day we'll all gathered, so we'll ask Swami for an interview. Then we came on a working day when the crowd was less. Then Suresh was our group coordinator, because he could talk freely with Swami also, because he had previous interaction. Swami performed his marriage. So we asked him to ask Swami. He said, wait, he told. In Pilistanu, I will call you. Then it went on through 2-3 chances we took like that. One day Swami said, I will call you on this Sunday. Then Swami, Sunday also went off. Because Sunday, bhajans will be there. We cannot go during the bhajan. Then what happened, one more day we came. I will call you tomorrow, he said. So all of you come, I will call you tomorrow. Then some of our brothers were on official duty to different places. So we informed them. They all took a flight and came to Bangalore. So that was on 94, October 25th. Swami called all to, even the ladies and gents, first time for BBG. Vrindavan Bhajan group. Then we were about 50 of us. Then we started, what happened? As soon as he entered, he put the switch. Swami usually does like that. He himself put the switch and then goes and sit down. Yen samachara? He asks. Are you all, Swami, we are all with the singers, BBG, Vrindavan Bhajan group. You are all sinners or singers? You are all singers or sinners? No, you are all 1/4 singers, 3/4 sinners, he told us. That means you are not doing a proper duty of a singer. That we came to know why Swami is commenting like that, we came to know later. Now, as soon as he came, he started, so you are all Bhajan group. Swami, the group leader, Prabhas Rizan, she asked, Swami, are you satisfied with our singing? Swami said, when everybody is satisfied, I am satisfied. That means you have to satisfy the whole group, the audience. Then only you can satisfy me. Otherwise, what is the use of singing bhajans? So, that was the first this thing. Then, he said, chanting God's name is the greatest asset in life. You all have this chance. Don't lose this chance. Know the value of the chance and then do it. See, for example, it was, I think, Mirabai. She sang this, Ram Ratan Dan Payo Ji Maine. So, Ram Ratan, Ram Naam is like a diamond, or it's a highly valuable jewel. Now, having got it, I don't want to lose it. That was her song. So, you know about that and try to do your part. Then, of course, he asked various questions. What are the types of, how many types of knowledge are there? Then our group leader says 2 types of knowledge. No, not 2 types. There are 5 types of knowledge. What are those 5 types? First is bookish knowledge. Pustakamunalladi, mastakamunalla ayipoyindi. So that is bookish knowledge. Anybody can read and then get it into the head. They can produce better. That is bookish knowledge. Next is superficial knowledge. The next is discriminatory, general knowledge. Then the next is discriminatory knowledge. The last is practical knowledge. So this is how the knowledge is of different types. This practical knowledge, actually Swami later on given a new name, educare. And that was the Veda of the 21st century. Swami also given. So you need practical knowledge, not just bookish knowledge. After bookish knowledge, you have to graduate. This is how the knowledge is. So what is the real asset is the practical knowledge. And then Swami used to quote from even the Vedas. See, there are, Purusha Suktam, he told. How many of you know Purusha Suktam? Some of us, we are not very familiar with the Vedas and all that. He took his kerchief and then he just folded it. Only one part he kept like this. Now what is this? He said, Swami, this is the tip of the kerchief. Tip of the kerchief. Now I take the kerchief and then he spread the kerchief. Now what is it? This is the whole kerchief, Swami. That was only a tip. Yes. So what you see is the tip. And what is this is the whole. And that is true with me also. What you are seeing, observing, everything, the entire creation is just a tip of what you are seeing. A tip of the iceberg. You are not seeing the major part of it. And it is also mentioned in Purusha Suktam. So that was how he was relating. Purusha Suktam and all that. So, and in Purusha Suktam we have this division of labor. Brahmanasya mukamasid, bahu rajanya krita, uru tadasya vaishyaha, padbyagam shuddha. So that is how, in Gita also I have told that the head, the shoulders, the stomach and the leg. This is how I have Varna Ashram, this thing. The head, the Brahmanas, the shoulders or the Kshatriyas, the stomach or the Vaisyas, and the feet or the Sudras. And he also told about, see, you know where prana is? Swami told. So we told, we do not. And you ask any doctor what is prana, they don't have an idea. 5-year course they do study, but they don't talk about life at all. Life, if you ask what is life, They'll give you 2-page definition, but that is not life. I'll tell you where prana is. You usually think prana is in the heart, but prana is not in the heart. It is in the spinal cord. And in the spinal cord, it is between the 9th and 12th vertebrae. Between the 9th and 12th vertebrae, there is a small light, flickering light. Just like during the rainy day, you see a cloud of lightning in the dark clouds. Like that, prana is there between the 9th and 12th vertebrae in the spinal cord. And that prana is sustaining your body. And because of that prana, you are able to do all activities. And that is given in the Purusha Suktam. Vidyullekava Bhasvara. So that is how you have to learn Vedas, appreciate what is there. So, and that is why any injury in the spinal cord is dangerous to life, because that is where prana is there. So he used to connect Vedas, all this. And then see the wonder of creation. Swami, see the ice. So it is only 1 inch, but it can see crores of miles into space. You can see the farthest star. Is it not a wonder? Swami told. So half inch of eye, you are able to see the farthest. Which scientific instrument can do that? See the wonder of creation. But the same eye, if you want to look, you can't see your own eye. You have to have a mirror and then see. What is that mirror? That is God's grace. So in order to see your own self, you need mirror. You can see only Bhakya, but not the Antara. So this is how God's creation is there. You have to appreciate this, Swami told. And then he told the mother's love for children. See, mother's love is equal for all the children. You should not think that, oh, Swami is helping him only, he is talking to him only, he is not seeing us. No, a mother can't be like that. Probably a worldly mother will be like that, but a divine mother can never do like that. For example, he said, a mother has 3 children. One is elder, the other one is younger, and third is a baby she is holding in her arms. Now the elder boy she will ask her, you go and they are all going to school. They have to pack some tiffin. You go there, I am not able to come to the kitchen. You go to the bathroom, pack your tiffin and then fend for yourself. The second boy, it's not that much matured. So she will go to the kitchen, pack for him, and then she send that boy also to the school. But the third one is little one, she doesn't know what she has to feed it by herself. So just because she is feeding this boy, this child by herself and letting the bigger child do for himself, doesn't mean mother has partiality. So you have this lesson you have to take. And then he talked about, see, you're all bhajan singers. You have to know about your human body. There are 33 vertebrae. What are these 33 vertebrae? It is just like the veena. The veena has 33 all the different notes. Just like that, you have the different notes in your spinal cord. Sarigama Padanisa is all inside your thing. That is why you are able to produce that. Otherwise, how you will get? So this is God's creation. That is how it comes out through your mouth. So appreciate that. And then he was also giving us, see, you're all bhajan singers and you need to be disciplined. As a bhajan singer, don't roam about here and there and then come and sit and do bhajan. That is a droha to Swami. You're doing droha. Your duty is to practice well and then do also sadhana. See, whatever sadhana you do, the inner purity will be reflected in the song. Just you go and whatever lead your life, whatever the way you like, and then because you are a singer, you come and sit and sing because you have a throat. Swami does not appreciate that. Swami needs bhava. To get that bhava, you lead a pure life. So Swami used to give advices like this. And he also told that this is an opportunity not available to all. So I am telling you time again, take a good advantage of this. So that was about our first interview.